I'm Rebecca Adams and I'm an archivist at the London Metropolitan Archives, and today I'll be showing you the Mollie Hunte collection, which is a selection of posters and documents. Let's take a look. Mollie Hunte was an education psychologist from Ghana, born in 1932. She came to the UK in 1961 and she set up a number of organisations to advocate for young black children and parents. She set up the Caribbean Parents Group, the Caribbean Parents Group Supplementary School. She set up the Westfield Training Academy and the PEV Consultancy, which was a group specifically for therapy and assessments and consultancies for young black children and adults. So these are a selection of items from the Mollie Hunte collection, mainly posters and drafts that Mollie Hunte actually created herself and also co-created. This is a poster created by the Caribbean Parents Group. They also created a Supplementary School, and a Supplementary School was a organisation specifically for young black children, and it helped teach young black children about their culture and their heritage and taught them about history that they wouldn't have learned in school. Mollie Hunte was very important in making sure that young black children gained the education they deserved. She made sure that they weren't sent to special needs schools during the 1970s and 80s, when a lot of children were being sent there compared to their white counterparts due to their race. Young black children were also discriminated against. There was a lot of racism, and she made sure that parents were told about this and actually made sure that they knew that the schools were treating young black children in this way. I also think this is a really important document from the collection, as it's a speech that Mollie wrote and presented at the Descendants Community Education Group. And in this speech, she talks about her profession, how she got into it, the ways in which it's important for the community, just to show about why she actually wanted to come to the UK. My purpose for coming to England was primarily to further my studies by working, that is, teaching full-time and pursuing my studies part-time, as I had not the financial means to see myself through university on a full-time basis. So for 12 years, I taught in infant, junior and 3 types of special schools. That was from 1961 to 1973, whilst I completed a first degree in psychology and sociology, a master's degree in research psychology and education, 2 higher diplomas in education and special education. This speech and Mollie's work is still really important to talk about today, as we're still having fairly the same conversations that Mollie was having in the 80s and 90s and 2000s about young black children and their education, and it's really important to keep advocating for them and make sure that they are listened to and their voices heard. The work of individuals like Mollie Hunte is actually really important to have in an archive, as it helps with young black British history and being able to make sure that young black children know about the people who came before them and the people who helped advocate for them and their education and their mental health. So these are some of the drafts that Mollie actually created for her consultancy group, which is the PEV Consultancy. I think this is really important and really interesting, as it shows the kind of progression of what she kind of wanted to create, the logos and kind of the letterhead. I've also got a picture of what she actually ended up designing in the end. So it's nice to just kind of see where she went from kind of drafts and doodling to actually the end product. So I think that's really important to see kind of her creativity. I think what people can take away from learning about Mollie Hunte, kind of seeing what she's done, is that we should all really support each other and really support our communities, making sure that we continue to advocate not just for others but also for ourselves. It's also very important to think about what you can bring to the archives and the ways in which you can impact on history. You don't need to be a super important figure to be able to have your documents and your life in the archives. It's just about doing kind of things that you think is important.